Hey guys, Mix here, and today's video, as you guys can tell from the title, thumbnail, and what's behind me, I bought a new quad, and I know you guys are thinking, one project at a time, for me to stop buying this stuff, and I completely agree with you guys, but I have a problem with buying toys, I guess. But this one probably isn't going to be a full project like I usually do, because, well, as you guys could tell, this thing is in really good shape. You know, it does need a nice cleanup, but there really is no rust everywhere. Everything is in great shape, well maintained. I mean, like, no rust at all. And let's pop off the seat. Like, look at that. It is in nice shape. But this thing does not run. I believe it has been sitting for 5 years. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be trying to get this thing back up and running. I believe it is a 125, but it is an automatic, so we'll just see how the thing is. I heard it rips pretty nicely. Definitely think that this is the nicest quad I've ever owned. This is only the second Yamaha I've had. My other Yamaha, the Moto 4, that thing was so slow. I'm pretty sure there was something wrong with the engine or something that made it so slow, but this one, I'm hoping once it runs, it should have full power, because looking at the engine, I don't see any leakage of oil or anything. Everything looks perfect. Give you guys a closer look. So as you guys can tell, like, everything looks perfectly fine around the head gasket. There's no black marks or anything. And it does have reverse, which is awesome. I've never had anything that's had reverse before, so I'm definitely excited to try that out. So guys, let's get started with this thing, try and get it back up and going. First thing I'm gonna do is put in the key and turn it, just to see if the battery has any juice left. I doubt it, because it's been like 5 years, I think. If not, then we could try and see if the battery holds a charge. It looks like it's still in pretty good shape, so we can hook it up to the charger and see if it does, which I'm hoping that it will hold a charge. And then once the battery is charged up enough to start it, I'm gonna try it without cleaning the carb first. Usually everything I've worked on needed a carb clean after getting it, but I'm just curious to see, just because of how clean it looks right now. But like I said, it probably will need a carb clean, because everything I've had so far needed one. So guys, let's push this thing over to the outlet so we can hook up the battery charger and see what it reads. Alrighty, let's see if we get any sign of life. Yeah, no, completely dead. So this battery does look like it's still in good shape, but we'll just see if it holds a charge. I'm really hoping that it will. Nice. So guys, the quad battery is beginning to charge, which is awesome. So I'm probably gonna let that charge up. It's completely dead, so it probably needs like 2 hours at least to have a good enough charge to try and start it. But in the meantime, I want to give you guys an update with the Supermoto pit bike build. That thing is not done. I just have a big issue with it, and also with the NASCAR. So first of all, we have our Supermoto. I still have it. It's been a little while since I've done a video with the build. And that is because, as you guys know, the rear sprocket on this thing is completely just worn out. You can't even like ride the bike without it skipping really bad. And I went to take off the sprocket, but those bolts on there that are holding that sprocket on will not come off at all. And whenever you get like enough, you know, momentum to try and do it, it just starts to round out. I'm kind of stuck with that on right there, and just that sprocket is holding up the whole build right now. But I will try and figure it out. I think I might try and drill those holes out and see if that works, and then just replace the bolts after. So that might work, and I'm really hoping that it does, because I loved making videos with this, and I still have really big plans for it. Next up, we have the NASCAR, and as you guys can tell, there are 2 shades of paint on here, which I will go into more explanation once the next video with the NASCAR comes out, which I'm hoping might be next video, but we'll just have to see. But as you guys know, ever since I bought this thing, it's had a really bad crack in the fender. When it's not jacked up like this, it flops everywhere. It's super bad. So I tried, you know, doing a cheap fix with it, but it didn't work out, so it looks like that I'm just gonna have to get the repair kit like I, you know, probably should have gotten in the first place. But once that is on, we should be able to do what I have planned in store for it. It should be really awesome, so stay tuned for that. But anyway guys, I'll catch you guys back once the Yamaha Breeze's battery is fully charged, and we'll see if it'll fire up. Alrighty guys, so it is probably like 4 hours later, and the charger is still on red. So what I'm gonna do right now is take it off the charger, turn the key, and see if there's any life at all, because I could just be charging a totally bad battery and just wasting time. So I'm going to turn the key, see if anything happens. Then if not, then we know that the battery isn't actually holding a charge, and I'm going to have to get a new one. Alright, let's see. Nope, nothing at all. So as I suspected of why it was taking so long to charge, this battery does not hold a charge. So what I'm going to do right now is take the wires off the terminals, take out this battery, see what size it is and everything, because I might actually have a battery that'll work for this, but we'll just see what happens. Jesus, this thing is in there tight. I don't see any strap or anything holding it down. It's just like really, really tight in there. Oh, there we go. So here's the old battery, and then here is one that I'm going to be using for now. And yes, you are supposed to use the exact like same battery, but I just looked it up and that battery will work for the Yamaha Breeze, which is awesome. So I'm going to hook it up now. I just tested the voltage. It is at 12, which is, you know, full. And then I also tested the voltage on this and it was at 7. So I don't know. I guess it is holding some kind of voltage, but I'm curious to see if it'll go down as time goes on. Now I'm just going to slip the new battery in. Now I'm just going to hook up the terminals and then see if it'll work. Alrighty guys, so the new battery's on. Let's see if we have anything. Nothing once again. So what I thought was going to be an easy, thing to get started is now turning into something worse. Something electrical is not right. It could just be that it's not the exact same battery. So what I'm going to go ahead and do tomorrow is get the exact same battery that it came with. Maybe that'll fix it, maybe it won't, but it's just good to have anyway. But I mean, I checked everything. The light won't even turn on. It is in neutral, but nothing. But I mean, all the electrical and everything looks perfect under here, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and go through it and see if I see any loose wires or anything. So guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow when hopefully we'll have the right battery for it, and maybe I'll find a loose wire somewhere. Alrighty guys, so we're back here the next day, and I've actually been working on the Yamaha Breeze for the past couple hours, I gotta say, and I finally found the problem. So I took all of this off and went through the wires there, checked the ignition, and all the wires there looked fine. And then I went over here where, the starter solenoid is, the fuses, everything like that. And I went to check the fuse that's in here, and this is the one that, was in it. And as you guys could tell, I'm not an electrical expert or anything, but the two metal pieces in there are broke apart, and I know that they should be touching. So luckily I already had a fuse here, and what I did is I popped it in there, cleaned out some of the wires, and really haven't tested this at all, but I just turned the key. Also, I put in the fresh battery. The engine turns over, so that is awesome. The neutral light is on. Let's see if reverse light works. It does. That is so awesome. Let's go. We'll see if the headlight works as well. Okay, headlight doesn't work, but that's fine. I just want this thing to run. So guys, what I'm gonna do now is throw some gas in it and see if it'll even fire up without me needing to clean the carb. I mean, the whole carb and all the mechanical stuff looks extremely clean. Looks like it's all sealed off. There's no openings in the airbox for anything to get in. It looks really, really good. So I'm hoping that it'll just fire up now just by putting gas in it, because that'll be really awesome. I'm gonna keep all the stuff off of it just in case I need to take off the carb to clean it. But I didn't record anything from before because I really was doubtful, because I do not know electric that well, but luckily I was able to find that problem. And yeah, I'm super stoked. Also, the reason I put in the old battery is, so here's a little backstory. I put the old battery, the original one that came with the quad, on the charger. I left it overnight just to see, and it was still charging when I woke up the next morning, but the voltage was higher, and I took it off to see if it'll keep the voltage, which it did. But once I found the whole fuse and everything and I turned the key, the voltage went all the way down to 2 volts. So I was like, all right, this battery is definitely shot. So I just went and put in the good one. As you guys know, it turns over now. Okay. I'm not gonna put in, a full tank, just for testing purposes. We'll see what happens. All right, let's turn that fuel on. Let's put on the choke. We'll see if anything leaks out of the carb, then we'll try and start it. Currently, I don't see anything leaking, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and start it, and we'll see what happens. Try no choke before we go ahead and take the carb off. Alright, nothing. Actually, just thinking about it now, I'm not going to take off the carb yet. I'm going to take out the spark plug, test for spark, and then if there is spark, then it's, 100% the carb. That was a pretty loose spark plug. Spark plug doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, that is nice spark. Perfect. So we'll start putting in the spark plug back in now. And then we'll take off the carburetor. Seems pretty easy. There's a lot of room over here to work, so it shouldn't take too long. Alrighty guys, so now let's start taking off that carb. Alrighty guys, so the carb is off the intake boot and the intake manifold to the airbox, and what I think I'm just going to do is just take off the bowl while the throttle cable and choke cable is still hooked up, just because I've never, you know, seen a throttle cable like this, and this little jacket or something that's around like the top of the throttle cable is really like hard to get off, and I mean, it just really doesn't make a difference. There's plenty of enough room in here to take the parts off the carb and everything. So yeah, let's get started. Take it off the bowl, and then we'll see how it looks. Alright guys, let's see how this carb looks. Whew, it is gummed up. Wow, that is nasty. So guys, here's a closer look into the carb, and this thing looks awful. There's there's old gas, and there's tons of nasty little stuff. The float is terrible, so definitely needed a carb clean. But let's get this clean. Let's start taking out the jets and all the little pieces and get this thing all freshened up. Alright guys, so right now I'm having an issue with the needle valve. It's just falling apart. I think I'm just gonna have to order a brand new one. The little hook that, you know, goes onto the float just keeps breaking off of the valve and just won't work. So I'd rather do it right and then just get the thing so I don't end up, you know, needing to take apart the quad again and just doing this whole process over again because it leaks. So guys, I'm gonna be ending the video here. Next video with the quad will hopefully be getting it running if this thing starts once we get that new needle valve in the mail. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the new Yamaha Breeze. I think it's a really nice quad. I think it's the nicest quad I've had so far. But comment your thoughts down below. And like I said, one project at a time. This is just to get running and have fun with. There really isn't any, you know, cosmetics to do with it besides maybe wash it, because it's already in really good shape. But I'm really happy that we were able to get this thing back to life, get the electrical going again, and hear the engine turn over. But next video should be the fire up. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends about the channel.